Kimi no Suizo o Tabetai by Sumino Yoru, Part 22. I was getting sick of explaining things like this, and I think if anyone could read the inside of my heart, the situation's development would be fairly obvious. But I was overpowered by her and ended up staying over in the same room. I'd like if no one thought that I was a weak-willed flirt that easily agreed to stay in the same room as someone of the opposite gender. To put it in one way, there were some financial issues between me and her. Just by exploiting that alone, my insistence that it would be better for me to stay over at a separate location was denied. That said, who was I even making excuses for? Yes, excuses. Taking on a firm stance and going in a separate direction from her. That was what I should have done. Even for her, it would probably have been impossible to stop me. However, I willingly didn't do so. The reason? Well, I'm not so sure. In any case, I ended up sharing the same room with her. Having said that, there wasn't anything for me to feel guilty about. I could guarantee that for the rest of my life, we were pure. Isn't sleeping together in the same bed exciting? Okay, I was the only one who was pure. Are you dumb? I frowned at the girl who had said something strange after spinning around as though she were dancing under the chandelier that emanated a soft light from the middle of the spacious room. I sat down on a good sofa within the Western-style space and told her something of the utmost common sense. I'll be over here. Come on, since we've got a good room, you should at least have a proper taste of the bed. In that case, I'll lie down on the bed for a little while afterwards. Shouldn't you be happy to sleep with a girl? Stop with those unwarranted attempts at character assassination. Look, I'm just a gentleman wherever I go. Just save those kinds of things for a boyfriend. Since we're not in a relationship, wouldn't it be fun to do things we shouldn't do? After saying that, seemingly having thought of something, she took out the deceased coexistence journal from her backpack and made a memo. I often saw this behavior when observing her. Wow, there's a jacuzzi. While listening to her frolicking about in the bathroom, I opened the glass door and stepped out onto the veranda. The room we had been shown to was located at the 15th floor of the high-rise. And even though it wasn't a suite, it was way too luxurious for high school students. The toilet and the bath were even separated, and the night view was spectacular. Wow, it's wonderful. Before I knew it, she was out on the veranda, enjoying the night view, her long hair swaying in the whispering wind. It's just the two of us gazing into the night. Don't you think it's romantic? I returned into the room without answering. Sitting on the sofa, I picked up the remote on the round table before me, switched on the television that was as big as the room was large, and browsed through the channels. There were many locals programs on air that I usually didn't get to see, and the entertainers showcasing dialects caught my interest more than the girl's nonsense. Abandoning the veranda, she closed the glass door and got in front of me to sit on the bed. I could imagine from the look on her face when she made a "wah" just how springy the bed was. Alright then, guess it wouldn't hurt to have just a little taste of its springs. Just like me, she was watching the large television. Dialects are interesting, huh? Have you eaten? It sounds just like some warrior from way back. Even though the town is cutting edge, its dialect sounds old. How strange. For someone like her, she said something rather meaningful. Seems like it'd be pretty fun to study dialects as a job. Guess we agree once in a while, huh? Even I'm thinking that it'd be fine if I studied that kind of stuff once I enter university. How nice. I want to go to university too. What do you want me to say to that? I'd like if she stopped with the non-humorous, sentimentality-cladded stuff. I didn't even know how I was supposed to feel. Don't you have any trivia about dialects or something? Let's see. Well, when we hear them, they all sound like the same Kansai dialect to us. But there are actually quite a number of variants. How many variants do you think there are? 10,000! That's just plain impossible. I'm gonna get angry if you keep pulling answers out of thin air, you know? There are various views, but some say the actual number may even be close to 30. Huh, is that so? I wonder just how many people you've heard up till now. Since she was a girl with a wide network of acquaintance, that number was probably immeasurable. Honestly, what a sinful human. On that point, I, who didn't acquaint myself with anybody, would never hurt anyone. As for which of us is righteous as a person, I think that judgment will be divided. She silently watched the television for a while, but before long, she probably finding it unbearable to remain still, she began rolling around on the white bed. And after completely messing it up, she loudly exclaimed, "I'm having a bath!" Following which, she entered the bathroom and started filling the tub with hot water. With the sound of gushing water acting as BGM from beyond the bathroom wall, she retrieved various small items from her backpack and started the water in the washroom that was separate from the bathroom. She was probably removing her makeup, though it's not like I was interested. Once the bath was filled with hot water, she disappeared into the bath with delightful glee. Peeping is a no-no. Such was the foolish piece of advice I had received. But I didn't even look at her walking into the bathroom. See, it's because I was a gentleman. I could hear her humming a song in the bathroom, something I'd heard before from what was probably a commercial, wondering just how in the world had I arrived at the present situation in which I was sitting so close to a classmate as she took a hot bath. I thought back and reflected on my own plans and actions. Looking up at the ceiling, the chandelier flickered from the corner of my eye. When I had reached the part of my memory where I was getting assaulted by her on the Shinkansen, I was called out to. "Get along, Kun. Could you get me the facial cleansing cream from my backpack?" Submitting to her voice that echoed from the bathroom, without feeling anything in particular, I grabbed the sky blue backpack that had been left on the bed and peeked inside. I hadn't felt anything. That was why it was as if my heart had been hit with an earthquake from somewhere when I laid my eyes on its contents. I looked inside the backpack, colored as brightly as her. And though there should have been no need or reason to be shaken up, my heart was pounding. Even though I should have known, even though I should have understood, even though I should have already grasped the premise of her existence, having seen that, I choked. Calm down, I told myself so. Inside her backpack were several syringes, an unprecedented amount of pills, and what seems to be a measuring apparatus that I didn't know how to operate. I somehow managed to hold my ground and stop my thoughts from racing away. I had known that this was reality. The truth that she was maintaining her existence with the power of medical science. When I looked at what lay before my eyes, I felt an unspeakable horror before me, and right at that moment, the face of the fear that entrapped me showed itself. Anything wrong? I turned towards the bathroom and saw her wet arm flapping about. She, who lacked even the slightest clue about the state of my heart, in order to prevent her from realizing the feelings that had been born within me, I hurriedly searched for the tube of facial cleansing cream and handed it over to her. Thanks! Ah, this is because I'm naked right now. Before I could even muster a response, she cracked. At least say something. This is embarrassing. Having fulfilled the role of a straight man in her own little routine, she closed the bathroom door. I approached the bed she had occupied and threw my body into it. It engulfed me in a springiness that I had come to expect, and the white ceiling seemed to engulf even my consciousness. I was confused. But why? I should have been aware. I should have known. I should have understood. But even so, I was still averting my eyes from her reality. In actuality, just by having seen those items, I was becoming ruled by mistaken feelings. It was as though a monster was gnawing at my heart. Why? My unsettled thoughts went spinning round and round, and I fell asleep on the bed, the spinning probably having reached my eyes. When I had come to, the girl who had washed her hair was shaking my shoulder. The monster had retreated for now. So, you did want to sleep on the bed. Like I said, I just wanted to have one taste. This is plenty. I stood up and seated myself on the sofa, so as to ensure she wouldn't notice the wounds the monster left. I stared at the television as expressionlessly as I could. I'd regained my composure, and the fact that I could do that much was reassuring. The girl was drying her long hair with the dryer provided. Hello everyone, this is Angelica. Thank you so much for watching this video or listening to it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Well, if you do like it, don't forget to click that like button, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so, and ring that bell so you'll be notified whenever I uploaded a new video. I guess that's it for today. See you guys on the next video. I'm Angelica, signing out.